And dozens of Wellington businesses were affected by a burst water main in the central city today, which forced Wellington Water to shut off the taps. Those who remained at work were asked to use toilets in nearby businesses and given bottled water for drinking. Just after 5 o'clock this evening, Wellington Water tweeted the water had been turned back on. It also promised businesses there would be no disruptions tomorrow. But today's burst marks the latest challenge for Wellington Water, which is already dealing with major repairs to wastewater pipes in the central city. Rachel Thomas reports.
A burst water main in central Wellington on Friday is the latest headache for Wellington Water, which has been dealing with one pipe break after another for months. This one was a 100-year-old water main near the TSB Arena on Jarvis Quay, which burst at 4:30 this morning. Wellington Water's site manager, Sean DeRue, says the pressure from the water forced silt onto the footpath and shot water into the air.
It is a large job for a water main burst. We had to, clean up the road first, so the team's just breaking into the road now to get to the water main. As you imagine, this street's quite thick.
The nearby 17-floor Hunter Tower, also known as the ASB Tower, has been without water all day. The tower, owned by Robert Jones Holdings, is home to at least 16 businesses, including the Korean Embassy, the Electricity Authority and several engineering companies. Tech store Ubi on the ground floor remained open, though disruptions to parking outside meant less foot traffic than usual. Staff member Russell Abdullah says earnings were down several $1,000s by lunchtime.
Normally by this time would make at least $4,000 sale, but we just had made less than $200. Really less people coming in. I guess mostly it's because of the parking. There's another cafe next to me. They need water, so they're normally busy on Friday, so they're closed totally.
Robert Jones Holdings declined to comment on the shutdown, with a staff member telling RNZ it was an issue for the council to deal with. Office workers were seen leaving the lifts this morning, some of whom said they were off to work from home. Meanwhile, nearby restaurant Charlie Noble was forced to cancel its breakfast, lunch and dinner services for the day. At midday, the 70-seater restaurant would normally be bustling, but instead the chairs were stacked and the floor was quiet. When RNZ called, a staff member was busy cancelling reservations for what should have been one of their busiest days of the week. They say they had been told the water was due to be back on by 5 o'clock this afternoon, but that wouldn't give chefs enough time to prep for the dinner service. Sean DeRue of Wellington Water says affected businesses had been understanding, but some were surprised to be told they had to venture elsewhere for a toilet.
People gave me the blank look, but ultimately people were happy and understanding and made decisions based on how their business functioned.
Over the day, contractors replaced up to 6 metres of pipes. Sean DeRue says they're now figuring out what happened to the pipe to try and prevent it bursting again.
We will take a sample, which we will then send off to be tested and get an idea of, the reasons behind the burst, the condition of the pipe, the potential expected life. It'll give us a gauge of, are we expected to have further bursts?
He says businesses affected today should have their taps working as normal tomorrow. Nearby Hunter Street, which has been closed all day due to the burst, should be open again by tomorrow morning. For Checkpoint, Rachel Thomas.